Okay, we're going to watch this video. This video is so contentious, it drives me crazy since it's actually really simple. There's not a whole lot to be contentious in this video. So I'm gonna play it first for you, and then we're gonna talk about it in a slowed down fashion. But let me show you what's going on first. So you have 4 lanes. Actually, there's 3, but a 4th one appears. The camera you're seeing right now is in the 4th lane, lane number 1. Okay, he wants to get over to lane number 3. He's going to merge across 2 lanes without stopping in between. He's going to cut off black car, and orange car is going to, he's going to lose it. So let me show you the video first at normal speed. So 1x normal, and you just watch it.
Going on. Please, Han, please, Han. Don't, Han, please.
Okay, so this is the fiction that's running around on the internet. You can read that if you want. It's a bunch of garbage. This is people are making assumptions based on what they're seeing and what they want to see. Now, let's go over what actually happened. So here we are back in lane number 1. So again, the camera car is here in lane number 1. You're going to see him merge behind that car there into lane number 2, and then immediately continue merging over into lane number 3. Now, when he does this, let me slow this down a little bit so we can see this happen a little easier. Let's run it at half speed. So now here he is merging over into, there's actually 5 lanes, but he's merging, when what we walked, he's merging into 2, and now he's merging over into 3. He realizes, oops, there's a car there. He almost pushes this car out of his lane. You can see now that this black car, which is the car that's alongside of him. So start asking yourself, where's the orange car? You know, people are saying, well, he almost sideswiped the orange SUV and pissed him off. Oh, no. You can see right here, there's no orange SUV here. There's this black car here. This is the car he pushed out of his lane and almost sideswiped. He hesitated, realized what he was doing, and then continued over after the black car passes. Okay? The black car had to take evasive action and move to the right a little bit, and then accelerate in front of the camera car that was intruding onto his lane. Now we continue fast forward. All right? Now, here we are. Both cars are fully in lane number 3. Completely. Actually, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lanes here. I'm sorry. He moved from lane 1 to 3, and they're going to end up in 5. Okay? So he's now moved from lane 1 to 2 to 3. You can see my cursor on the screen. Good. So he was over here in this lane. He safely merged into this lane, and then he unsafely merged into this lane, almost hitting this black, what, Lexus is it? I don't know what this is. Whatever this car is, he almost hits this car. The car actually has to, you can see the car is coming back into his lane in front of him. These 2 cars, the camera car and this car, are now fully in lane number 3. No one is partially in any other lane. So where the fuck does this guy come from? Where's this orange car that is literally, what, 6 inches off the bumper of this black car? Where'd he come from? I can tell you where he came from. He was behind this black car. Okay? Now, you could argue that he cut off the orange car, but he merged into the space the black car was. The black car is the one he almost sideswiped. This orange car was an observer. He was an uninvolved observer. He was behind this car watching this happen. So this orange car watched the camera car almost sideswipe this black car, and this black car have to dodge out of the way and avoid him. At that point, this guy here becomes social justice warrior and loses his shit, okay, or at least flips a little bit. He's mad now. He's like, how dare this guy move over, even though I have no involvement in this because I was behind all of this. I mean, watch the video. Where was the orange car? The orange car had to be behind the black car. So it's not the orange car that almost got sideswiped. It's the black car that got sideswiped. Not almost sideswiped. Okay? So now black car and camera car are fully established in lane 3. So where'd the orange car come from? Well, he decided to leave his lane and go over to lane 4 because he does not want to be behind this camera car. He wants to teach this guy a lesson. He's like, how dare you? How dare you do this even though it doesn't involve me? And he proceeds to force himself in front of this car. So in insurance parlance, orange car is at fault because the orange car is in control of no lane. The camera car is in control of lane 3. The black car in front of him is in control of lane 3. And this camera car is forcing his way in front of the camera car at this point. The orange car is forcing his way in front. You can see he is almost halfway into this lane, and his rear bumper is still behind the front bumper of the camera car. Camera car comes to a stop. I don't know what's going on. Maybe he expects him to continue moving. He ends up bumping into him. Oops, he screwed up. Bumps him a second time. This is actually pretty common. First of all, I have a feeling these are older people. They sound like they're 60 plus at least, maybe 70 plus. By the woman you're hearing is not the one driving. She's the passenger. It's her husband driving the car. Okay, I'm assuming it's her husband. Okay, so this guy just forced his way in front of the camera car and caused a collision. Okay, this collision is the orange car's fault. I mean, look, he's still not all the way in the lane, and they've already made contact. All right, this is the orange car's fault. Now, maybe the camera car could have stopped faster. I don't know. Maybe he thought he was just going to get in front and keep moving like he just did. He got in front of another car and kept moving. He probably just, his reaction time probably sucks. I doubt this. I doubt this guy driving this car with the camera on it right now, I doubt he even realizes the shitstorm he just got into without realizing it. He probably doesn't realize this guy's road raging. He probably doesn't even realize this guy was behind the black car. He probably thinks this is just somebody who wants to move over. He got too close. His reaction time was too slow, and he hit him. He bumped him, barely bumped him. Well, at this point, this guy in the orange car, he's unhinged. He just lost all of his marbles. He just went off the deep end. Cuckoo, wacko, he's gone. There's not a human being driving that orange car anymore. There's a raging brain. The human being is going to come back in a few minutes. Okay? So at this point, shit, we've had an accident. What do? What's the first thing you do? Well, you can't stop here. There's no shoulder. Okay? And there's a heavy traffic. I mean, in many places, if you were to stop right here, you'd get a ticket. Okay? Every place I've been, well, out here, maybe not in New Mexico, but on the East Coast, if you stopped right here, you'd be ticketed. All right? Because the cars are perfectly mobile. It was not a major accident. It was literally a bumper kiss. Okay? So you pull off to the right side of the road or to the nearest place where you can pull off. Okay? Now, you can't pull off here. That's like a 6-7 inch curb. You're not pulling up onto that with a car. This orange guy might be able to. The Escape. Actually, it is a Ford Escape. The Escape might be able to pull up onto the curb, but the car is not. So what's he going to do? Get to the rightmost possible lane and turn right at the light and pull into one of these lots. Okay? And that's exactly what he proceeds to do. And it looks like the orange guy's thinking the same thing. Let's pull over. So here he is, fully established in the right lane. And this is where you can see how the orange SUV completely loses his shit. All right? And proceeds to use his car as a battering ram. Now, I will grant you, I don't think he meant to hit the camera car. I think he meant to do the same thing he just did. Fly in front of him again. And slam on his brakes again, like he already did once. Okay? I think that's what his intention was. I don't think he was homicidal. I don't think he meant to actually ram into the guy's car. I think he tried to floor it and jump in front of him, and he assumed the guy was going to stop illegally right here on the side of the road where you're not allowed to stop. Because you can see the shoulder is half the size of this drainage. You can't stop here. You're not allowed to. All right, so he's going to pull forward and make a right at the light here. And that's where they're going to stop. Except the orange guy stops sooner because he proceeds to do this. Now notice at this point, the camera car is not accelerating. He's moving at a leisurely pace down the road. He's not accelerating anymore. He got up to a normal, probably 10 miles an hour, and he's just coasting now. He's going to come to this light and make a right. And here comes the orange car. Yeah. Except this is somehow the camera guy's fault. And you see how they get it wrong? Camera cuts across 2 lanes of traffic. Correct. Forcing the orange SUV out of the lane. Incorrect. He forced the black Lexus out of the lane, or whatever that car was. Hyundai, Lexus, whatever it was. He forced the black car out of his lane. The orange car was behind them. The orange car willingly left his lane in order to pass the camera car on the right, in order to force himself in front of the camera car to then slam on his brake and exert his dominance over him. How dare you do that? That's exactly what happened. Camera tries to jump ahead of him, but camera just keeps going forward and T-bones her. He was moving at 10 or 12 miles an hour, and the orange SUV jetted in front of him at nearly twice that speed and forced his way in front of him. This wasn't, he just kept going and T-bones her. This was, this guy lost his freaking marbles and jumped in front of him at forced speed and misjudged how fast he was going, misjudged where he's going to cut in front. He ran out of room. So he said, YOLO, I'm just going to yeet myself right in front of the guy, and this is the result. Right? This is 100% on the orange car. All he had to do was follow the car off the road and exchange insurance information and let them figure it out. But no, this guy lost his shit. He flipped out. He went nuts. Now, I really don't think he intended to hit the camera car. I think that was an accident of his rage. But he's responsible for that because he's raging. Okay? And you can hear him say, we're going to pull off up here. Let's watch this again at full speed. So here we are in lane number 1. I'm going to call it lane number 1, even though another lane forms to the left here. Okay? He moves to lane number 2, continues to move to lane number 3, which he should not be doing. Almost pushes the black car here. That's not what I asked you to do. Okay. Almost pushes the black car here off the road, out of the lane. Okay. Not the orange car, the black car. The orange car's in the back now. You now have black car, camera car, orange car. Because where else can he be? Where else can he be? Well, now the orange car jumps over to the right lane and guns it and says, oh, hell no, you're not getting in front of me. And he's in the right lane now, and he's in number 4 lane, and forces his way in front, and then he hits the brakes. See how the other cars are continuing forward? He hit the brakes on purpose. This is a dominance game. This is a exerting my dominance over you. I'm going to teach. Russians do this all the time. We see it on video all the time. I'm going to teach you a lesson. I'm going to be a teacher. And he's going to teach this camera car a lesson and slam on his brakes in front of him. But he screwed up. He didn't anticipate how close he'd be when he did it. And he didn't anticipate the slower reaction time of the older driver. And the older driver ends up bumping him. Look at it again. Look how close it is. Look. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. He's what? 12 inches from the camera car? I don't know about you, but even I might not hit the brakes fast enough to stop from bumping you from 12 inches. Probably, because I'm probably going to notice you coming over more than this older gentleman would. Older people tend to pay attention to what's in front of them. They don't tend to look on what's the side of them because it's too much to process. I would probably be seeing the orange guy because I'd probably notice that he was flipping out and losing his shit. Okay, but the older gentleman probably didn't notice. And this guy forces his way in front of him, less than 12 inches from his bumper. He probably misses the brake pedal a little bit. He's probably stunned, a little shocked. Oh shit, I just hit somebody, and his foot doesn't quite settle on the brake pedal, so he bumps him a couple times. Now, at this point, there's been an accident. Okay, we do what we're supposed to do. We pull over. So he pulls to the right in the clearing in the traffic. He's in the lane. He's fully established. Orange guy loses his shit. What other explanation is there for this? I can't think of any. The guy just lost his shit. Camera guns it down the right turn lane. Yeah, he gunned it at 10 miles an hour. Yeah, maybe not even 10 miles an hour. I don't know what it was. It was probably about 10 or 12 miles an hour based on, the impact with the other car. Because you would need the inertia of 10 or 12 miles an hour to do that to these Ford Escape, to make them turn like that. So, yeah, he's gunning it all right. 10 miles an hour down the turn lane. He's gunning it, though. He's gunning it. Ignore the fact that the SUV just came screeching across at a diagonal to force his way in front of him. But no, the camera T-boned him. You see how you can bias and prejudice the way you look at something based on the outcome you want? Okay, people want to think, oh, that dickhead moving over 2 lanes and cutting people off. They want to think it's the camera guy's fault. What people don't realize is that there's 2 infractions here. There's 2 incidents. There's 2 altercations here. One has nothing to do with the orange guy. Okay, the first one was when the camera car tried to go over 2 lanes and almost does push the black car out of his lane. So this has nothing to do with the orange car. The orange car is behind. So that's the first altercation. The camera car finishes his merge. He fucked up. It was his mistake. I don't know whether he realizes it or not. I think he did, because you can see him hesitate and pull back a little bit until the black car goes past, and then he continues over. Based on this traffic, I'm guessing merging around here is a pretty aggressive activity. I see that a lot. You see that in New York a lot. People are very aggressive about cutting in and merging. So I'm guessing the kind of traffic around here makes this a pretty aggressive road. And this has nothing to do with the orange car. And the camera car is at fault. Okay, he tried to blindly merge into a 3rd lane without checking first. He almost sideswiped the black car. In fact, if the black car hadn't moved over, he probably would have hit him. Okay, and now that's over with. The camera's in the lane. He's safely behind the black car. The black car seems to have let it go. He gave him some horn. Maybe that horn wasn't even the black car. Maybe the horn was the orange car. Losing his shit. Some people can get very territorial in situations like this, especially road ragers. Any slight at all. You do any slight toward them and they lose their shit. There's one where a car was already in a single lane, and the other guy came up on the shoulder and passed like 4 cars, got in front of him, and all the guy do is give him a little bit of horn saying, "Whoa, buddy, what the hell you doing?" The guy slams on his brakes, stops in the middle of the on-ramp, gets out of the car, and starts teaching the guy a lesson. And then when the guy's pointing to the camera, he's like, "I'm trying to leave. Don't you get me going." I'd have run the guy over. As soon as he passed his back bumper, I'd have squished him. I'd have told him straight up, "You pass your back bumper, you're dead." Because I don't know about you, I'm 6'4", 450 pounds, and I'm not in very good shape. I get into a fight with somebody, unless I can sit on them, they're probably going to kick my ass. So I'm not going to let you get to my car. If you force me to a stop in the middle of a restricted way where I can't go anywhere and escape you, I'm going through you. So you'd better stay alongside your car, or you're a dead man. And because if it comes down to me or you, well, sorry, you're done. You get out of your car, you get out of your little tank. I'll stay in my little tank, and I'll just. So it's like that. He wanted to teach a lesson, and the road rage got the better of him. He lost his cool. He lost his temper. His logic centers shut down, and he just started acting like what we all do when our logic centers shut down. We act animalistic. We just react, and that's what happened here. The camera car is a little slow to respond. He's an older couple. He's not used to people playing, bumper cars around him. But people are, people have made up their mind, especially after reading a description like that. They've made up their mind that the camera car is the bad guy here, and they don't recognize that there's 2 bad guys. The camera car made a mistake that had nothing to do with the orange car. He made a mistake. He screwed up. There's no question about that. But hey, let bygones be bygones. Nobody got hurt. No metal kissing was exchanged. There was no love taps. They just went on their way. But the orange car couldn't let it go. So he went full rage. He went to the right, passed the car, forced his way in behind the black car in front of the camera car, and caused the collision. That's his fault. He caused that collision. Camera car then, not realizing that this is a road rage incident, he thinks, oh, I just fucked up. This guy cut in front of me and I hit him. He goes to pull off and turn off the road, and you can see he's not accelerating. Once he gets up to 10, 12 miles an hour, maybe 15, whatever they were doing, you can see he doesn't accelerate anymore. He can't. There's a whole bunch of traffic in front of him. All right. And this guy then goes full retard. I mean, thank God there's video. Because it's amazing. There is video. And yet this is a huge argument. There's video. You can see this happening. You can see it. And yet people are still arguing things that don't exist in this video. I mean, they're arguing conditions, actions, and events that simply aren't here. It blows my mind how multiple people I get it. Multiple eyewitnesses can see things differently. I totally understand that because you can't see everything. You see a little tiny 30-degree cone of whatever's in front of you, and your brain fills in the gap. You make assumptions and stuff like that. And you assume this happened before that, and that happened before this, and until you see something that corrects the assumption, then your brain corrects your memory. But we have video. You can replay it over and over again. You don't have to make any assumptions. You can just watch the video. And this here on the screen is not what this video shows. I mean, that's just... What are you going to do? People are weird.